What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do something different today. I watched the video that That Pedal Show did on the Tri-Stereo Chorus recently, and it was really interesting. They used pedals to recreate the Tri-Stereo Chorus, and they used vibrato pedals, which I had never considered using as, for the chorus thing. So I thought I'm going to try to recreate that scenario that in a way that they did it, with some additional things, which you'll see here. And I thought, I'm gonna see how close I can get to the rack stereo chorus. So what I have is I've got 8 scenes. The first scene is the 80's rack chorus, the Fulltone TERC as they call it. And in that preset, I've also got, I'm also using the +9, -9 for the pitch shifting on the left and right side. And then up the center, I have adding on a dimension chorus to kind of complete the whole 80's chorus, tri-stereo chorus signal chain, if you will. Now, I realize that in real life, the dimension would actually be going on the end of everything at the end of the chain. But for the purposes of this video, I just added it in there just to kind of give it that sound on the stereo signal, which is row 3. So just to kind of briefly go through this path. So on the top path is all amp, and that's basically going out stereo. So I'm using a Bogner, the 20th anniversary clean amp going into a Zilla Fatboy V30 212. Again, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into this. I was just like, I just want to get a nice clean sound. First in the chain, I've got a VCA comp. I've got a noise reduction gate, the side chained adaptive gate going into the amp, into the cab. And then I've got a utility gain that I'm using to kind of level all the different scenes out where I need to. Then I've got a send, because it's just a mono input on the rack chorus. And then I'm coming back with the stereo return and then hitting the room reverb and then going out. So we're going to consider that our dry, for when we're not using the rack chorus on this scene. That's basically kind of like your dry amp signal going out, and then everything else is going to be your wet signal. So the second row, on each of the rows, I've got a transparent blend so that I can feed, since you can only go output to row 3 and 4 and not output, not row 1 to row 2. I mean, you could do the lane split, but then you lose you kind of lose a block doing that, but I guess you kind of lose a block doing it anyway. But anyway, this is the way I chose to do it. So the transparent blends for each one of these is being fed on this scene, I'm feeding it the return of the effects loop, and it's feeding all 3 of these rows 100%. And then when I go to where I'm not using, I'll show you on the other scenes what's going on. So that signal is hitting row 2, 3, and 4, hitting the detune, the dimension chorus, and then a mind hall reverb just for ambience, and of course the other pitch as well. I've got a delay here. Without getting too deep into it, so on the H9, whenever you use the tri-stereo chorus algorithm, you can set, there's a delay setting that you can set in addition to the micro pitch portion of that algorithm. And that's why this is here. I'm just kind of emulating that. It's basically just a short, actually I need to turn down the feedback. It's just basically a short 30 millisecond delay on one side and a 20 millisecond delay on the other side. And again, it just kind of adds to the stereo imaging. It's not prominent. You don't, even, you know, if you disable it, it's not like, you know, you can really tell that it's not there. But that's why that's there. All right, so let's go to, so the second scene. Okay, so below that, I've got basically a scene that doesn't have, there's basically just the amp with no chorus on, just so that we can hear what everything sounds like with no chorus at all. Hence the scene being called No Chorus at All. So then the first scene, I'm using 3 vibrato blocks. And in this one, it's emulating the preset mode, which I'll show you on the rack. There's a preset mode that's just kind of like when you hit that and it's like a preset, we'll call it like a, well, it's a preset. So it's a preset sound that is just dialed in that you can't alter until you hit this manual switch, in which case you do have it on top of the preset. You can add manual settings on top of the sound that you're getting from preset mode. Or you can turn preset mode off and just use manual mode by itself. Most people use preset mode and pop in the manual mode and give it, you know, additional little sauce. So, and then below that, I've got the vibrato, and that's emulating when I kick in the manual. And so there's a speed control, and it kind of gives, you'll hear it, and that's kind of, so that's, since the vibrato kind of got me closest to sounding like the stereo rack chorus, I just wanted to set up 2 scenes, kind of one in preset mode to kind of show you the A-B those, and then we'll A-B the manual mode. Then I did a version with using the dual chorus choruses. Did one using the Dreamscape choruses, which is called, they're called Dream choruses, but they're emulations of the TC Dreamscape chorus. And then I did a version of the Boss CE2 with the Boss CE2 choruses, and then a version with using the TC 2290 choruses. And yeah, so we'll just go through these, and you'll hear, we'll just compare, and you'll kind of hear what each one kind of brings to the table. All right, so we're gonna start with the bass line. No chorus at all, just to kind of get our ears familiar with what the sound is like without any choruses at all. Because once you turn on the tri-stereo chorus and you play with it for a while, your ears get used to it, and you almost forget that it's on sometimes until you turn it off and you're like, oh, well, that's different. So this is the playing my JTG. I'm playing second position or fourth position, however you want to look at it, bridge and middle. I do have the preamp or the mid boost engaged, but I don't have it actually turned on. It's all the way off, but it is engaged, and it does do kind of a thing, you know. So really nice clean tone just on its own. Let's go ahead and engage the 80's rack chorus scene. So really nice. That is with the preset mode on. And again, I'll just play just kind of some chords, and you can, so. So that's the 80s rack chorus with pitch detune, and then the center row going through and hitting the dimension chorus, which I've got set to mode 3 and 4, SDED 320 mode, no drive, and then I've kind of got the output kind of pushed a little bit. But yeah, so that's what that sounds like. And again, going back to the no chorus at all. Back to the 80s. Really great sounding tri-stereo chorus. Now moving on to the vibrato preset. Emulating this setting. Anyway, you'll hear. So I'm going to play the 80s rack chorus. And then this is the vibrato preset. And that may be still a little too warbly. Let me see. We turn the rate. So I've got different rates set. Let me turn the rate down and down the middle. Let's try that. It's actually a little better. Save that. So go back to the TERC. Go back to gig view so you can see. Going back to the TERC. So yeah, it's the tri-stereo chorus has a thing, and it's hard to replicate that. The chips that it uses, and it's got a I think a lot of it is the transformer it does a lot to the signal too. So it's like there's a fidelity to it that's hard to replicate in this way. But going back, but it's pretty close. This is almost more lush even than the rack chorus, but the vibe is there. wrong key. Back to the rack chorus. It almost has like a flanging kind of sound. So, all right. So I'm going to engage the preset mode, the manual mode, and we'll play that. I'm going to turn up the speed a little bit to kind of give it a little movement. And then this is the vibrato manual scene. Go back to the TERC. No chorus. Vibrato. Rack chorus. I think the other one might be a little louder, so it's kind of, the perception is that it sounds better usually when it's louder. So I'm kind of leaning. Let's see. Let's try to boost this a little bit. Maybe around like that. Let's see if that matches better. So that is the emulation of with the manual mode on, and I just, you can turn the speed up all the way and you'll hear what it does. This is. Usually set it right around there. Pretty close, pretty close. And then so these other ones, so this is the dual chorus. Go back to and this is with the manual mode on. That sounds good too. The TC Dreamscape. I think this one has kind of that flange quality that the TERC has. I'm gonna turn off manual mode because this one's kind of more emulating the preset mode. That emulates it pretty good too. I love that chorus. That's one of my favorite choruses on here. So the Boss CE2 chorus. Boss. Back to the rack. No chorus. Whoop. No chorus. CE2. Now this last one, that sounds good. They all sound good. The 2290 kind of surprised me too. It actually sounds really good. So here's the rack chorus. 2290. Let me turn on the, I think I was kind of going for more the, kind of the manual mode. So here's the manual mode. No chorus. So, what do you think? I'm originally I was really liking the vibrato. But I really like the Dreamscape. And the 2290. Now with the 2290, I could probably go in and lower the, sounds like the rate is kind of, no, the rates are low, so it might be the depth. So you can kind of mess with reducing the depth on each one of these to kind of lessen the modulation. But I don't know, they all sound good. It was just fun to do. I wanted, like I said, I wanted to try to, when he was using because when I saw the video title, and I'll put a link in the description to the video, because it's a really interesting video to watch. But I was really surprised how he used the vibrato pedals and not chorus pedals, you know, because first, you know, it's not a tri-stereo vibrato, you know, you don't think vibrato, but it was really smart, and I really enjoyed that video, and I thought, I'm gonna try to do that on the Quad Cortex. So anyway, I'll put this up on the cloud for everybody to download, and you know, you can figure out which one you like and incorporate it into your presets. And quite honestly, so I don't know if I went through kind of what I'm doing on the end of each one of these, but if you look, so I've got row 2 is panned hard left, row 4 is panned hard right. I may have said that because of how I was doing the pitch when I was talking about the pitch shifting. And then row 3 is stereo. And theoretically, the way that he did it was with, I think, with mono pedals. So that's why this one a lot of these sound even more lush probably than just the tri-stereo chorus by itself, because I've got, you know, a lot of chorusing. I've got the stereo chorus on top of additional left and right, whereas the tri-stereo chorus rack, I think, is just kind of like a left, right, and a center. So it's not quite as wide and lush, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this is fun. I appreciate you guys checking it out. And if you have any questions about anything, hit me up. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.